the reasons we should forget about this place, but I don't wanna leave here if you're just gonna stay. Changing like the seasons, been wasting all this time. Should be like satellites cast beyond the sky. We'll leave our fate for another day. Riding these horizons, we'll find our way. We'll leave our fate and fade into the night. Just follow me to paradise. Just say we tried. Say the word and we can run around the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Forget about that dirty place. And I know you're healing, 'cause I know the feeling. The streets stop breathing. I don't wanna wait till say the word, say the word. Say the word. Say the word and we can run round the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Say the word.
Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day today. Guys, what did you think about those swatches? Are those colors not beautiful? Anyway, welcome to my channel, guys. Y'all saw the swatches. Now I'm gonna give you kind of my first impressions on what I think about this palette so far. Today's video is not gonna be a full-on review. Since there are 24 shades in here, I feel like it would take like a long time for me to get a good feel of every single one of them. So just gonna let you know what I think about what I've worked with so far and how they felt during the swatches and all that. So anyway, let's start off with some basic info. This right here is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. It is $62 and it is limited edition. So once it's gone forever. It's online right now on Kat Von D's website and on Sephora's website, and it's not supposed to be in stores until October 4th, but there are a lot of people who've been finding them inside their Sephora, inside of JCPenney stores. So if you just need it now, you might want to call your local Sephora's and see if maybe they have any in stock. I have the link to all of that info in my description below. Anyway, this palette right here is just so beautiful to me. I feel that she always goes above and beyond with her like design of the palettes and all that, and I really appreciate that. I love when things are pretty and cool looking. So we have the palette right here, and then on the back we have the names of all of the shadow shades. This palette is divided up into two sides. We have the Saint side right here, and these shadows are supposed to be dreamy, wearable, romantic. That's how she described them as. And then this side is the Sinner side, and these are supposed to be the bold colors. A lot of the comments that I saw online were just kind of like, I don't like how the shades are arranged, and why is there like no order to the palette or whatever. And the reason that the colors are just kind of like everywhere is because Kat Von D was inspired by the stained glass windows in like Gothic cathedrals and stuff. You know, you always see those and they're very colorful and the colors are kind of all over the place. So that was her inspiration, and that is why the palette is designed that way. This palette does come with two little mirrors on each side, but I don't know if they're very practical. Well, actually, I guess if you're holding it horizontally like this and you're only working with one side of the palette, then it could work. But if you're trying to work with like both sides, it seems kind of small for that. This palette has 24 different shades with 3 different finishes. And in addition to those 3 finishes, you also have these 2 transformative shades right here, which apparently you can layer on top of other shadows and it kind of gives them a different effect. You could see on the swatches that they looked kind of on the sheer side, and I think that's because they're used mostly as a topper and not supposed to be used like as just a base color or anything. So in addition to those 2 transformative shades, we have 7 mattes. We have 3 different shades here that have the matte texture, but they do have pieces of glitter inside of them, and then the rest of them are metallic and pearl. So the eye look that I did today was using the Saint Side, and whenever I created this look, they all went on super pigmented. I went into the crease with Worship right here, the purple color, and since this is a shimmer shade rather than a matte going into the crease, it took a bit more time to work with to blend out. I usually go for mattes in the creases rather than shimmer shades because I find that shimmers in the crease are always a bit harder to work with. So you might want to keep that in mind since, you know, there are a lot of really crazy colors in here. The thing that I noticed about this palette is that there aren't really a whole bunch of options for crease colors, like neutral crease colors, and that's usually what I use in my crease. So you might want to keep that in mind. Or you can just make sure that you have another neutral matte eyeshadow palette with you to work along with this. But other than that, the shades that I used for my lids today were really pigmented. I was so pleased with how well they went onto the lid and how nicely they worked with each other. They played well with each other. They're good little school children, so I gave them 2 pats on the back for that. I don't know why I'm talking about them like they are people. They are not. They are colors that go on your face. Whenever I was doing the swatches, I noticed that all of the metallics and shimmers, those all worked just so well. They glided on easily, and with the brush, they packed on nicely. But basing my opinions off of my finger swatches and the brush swatches, because you know, brush swatches make a huge difference in comparison to fingers because brushes don't have the oils that our fingers do, which make them go on and look better and stuff. You know, even with a brush, they looked well, they packed on well, they glided on nicely. There were a few that were a little bit on the drier side, but I mean, that was only one layer of shadows on my arm. Usually whenever I do looks with shadows, I go on with a couple of layers. That applies for every single palette that I use. I feel that if you pack on the color, that won't really be a problem. But basing this off of the swatches and with the brush swatches, I don't really think there are going to be any duds in this palette. I don't really know if I'm going to be using these shades here at the top that much. I might use this one like as a really bright pop in my inner eye corner, but I don't know, Rapture, I don't know. I just like the colors as they are. I don't know, I'll be playing with them and see what I think of it later, but I think it is kind of a neat concept. I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to using it a whole bunch more. This kind of palette is like right up my alley. Colorful, but then there are also a whole bunch of colors that you can use to create just, you know, normal everyday looks. I just love that there are so many options. Like I'm looking at this and you can create some nice, soft, delicate looks with it. There are also some darker colors so you can smoke them up. There are crazy colors so you can add pops of color here and there. You can just do so much with this palette and I love that. I absolutely love that. I am so looking forward to playing with this a whole lot more, and I'm pretty sure you will be seeing a whole bunch of looks pop up on my Instagram and probably even a few tutorials here on my channel. If you would like to see some tutorials, go ahead and tell me in the comments so I can know that that is something that y'all will be interested in. And also I think that would be a good idea to do tutorials because then y'all can see how the shadows do perform on the lid and stuff. So anyway guys, those are my first impressions. I want to hear yours. Do any of you guys have this palette already? And if so, I want to know what you think about it. If not, I want to know if you are planning on picking this up. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not already. And until next time guys, goodbye.